We shall see. It's been a day of surprises.
A lot of these men have had to wait patiently until they got their chance to compete, and sometimes the nerves can get the better of you. You saw that in that Group A in the women's javelin. They've sat there for 5 days waiting to compete, perhaps the nerves growing. But this man's already got his campaign underway. Tony van Diepen picked up a silver medal with Holland in the mixed 4x4. And credited with a 45.1 split, so that's very handy for an 800 metre runner. Adrian Ben was 5th in Tokyo. He was 6th in Doha. Spaniard will be keen to make another final. In 6th with Brandon Miller. He was 3rd at USA's and 3rd in the NCAA Championships. Seen Bryce Hoppel get tangled up in the previous season. He and Donovan Brazier struggle early on as well. Now Algeria are having a great season at 800 metres. A few of them here today. Mathis in New Zealand, he took a good victory at the Seiko Golden Grand Prix earlier on in the year. Ioni is the national record holder from his performance in Tokyo for Tunisia. And Chipo Chite will go in lane 2. Good second place in Bydgoszcz for the South African athlete. Better season by season.
On your marks.
These 800 metre races have been pretty tactical so far. Really slow first heat. 1:45 winning time in the second heat. More respectable than what you'd expect from what these athletes have run through the season. And then that horrible fall for Dylan McBride in the third heat. What are we going to have in this fourth heat? Hopefully not so much drama. I think Miller just trying to jostle for position there. Tony van Diepen with that 45.1 in the mixed relay. He's running so within himself at this 800 metre pace. Been really impressed with Tony van Diepen this season. He won Bydgoszcz, he was 2nd in Turku, 3rd in Paris. He does really well at getting himself in the top 3 on the circuit, but can he do it at major championships?
Well, Brad Mathis of New Zealand has never broken 1:46, but at the moment giving a good account of himself, getting himself to the front, pushing along at a healthy tempo. It's not that healthy, 54.46 is not quick, but maybe he fancies himself in a slowish race. He's running the shortest line, that's for sure, in that black strip, that famous black strip of the Kiwis.
Brad Mathis is piling the pressure on at the front of this field. It almost looks like he kicks through 400. Maybe he thought, I'll relax for a bit and then I'll push on. And it's almost caught the others unaware. It's kind of not allowed them to make any moves down the back straight. Tony van Diepen with a smart move around the inside, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get stuck behind Brad Mathis, because Adrian Ben has struck for home. Ben was the first Spaniard to make an Olympic final last year in Tokyo. He's kicked hard there and he's going to come under pressure from Tony van Diepen and from Sajati of Algeria. It is the Algerian kicking for home. Algerian looking full of running, and Tony van Diepen having to fight for a position on the line. Ioni of Tunisia with a great finish on him then. Adrian Ben just run out of the automatic qualifying spots, and that's not that quick.
No, not often you see a Spaniard get out raced in a slowish qualifying middle distance heat, but I think Adrian Ben, 4th there, will be right on the cusp. Try to bring you an update of those bubble positions, as they call them. Sadati's winning time 1:46.39. He looked impressive, I have to say. The Algerian, very, very smooth mover down the straight there. He leads off the bend here. It was a brave run from Brad Mathis, the New Zealander, but eventually he did get swallowed up by most of the field. But Ben, down the home straight, maybe it just gone a little too early. You know, that's a long, long home straight in qualifying races. Always save something for that last 30 or 40. So Jati does a good job. Good running too from Ioni of Tunisia. And yes, the Netherlands athlete, Tony van Diepen, as you said, Anna, getting it right. Get in the first 3, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter what lane you get for the next round.
Could have expected Van Diepen just to be able to lift in the final stages, but Sajati of Algeria, he's 3rd on the world, equal 3rd on the world seasons list with 1:43.69, and showing all of that strength and speed in the closing stages there for Algeria. But Tony van Diepen successfully maintaining his record of staying in the top 3 in every race. And Ioni of Tunisia, great finish. Look forward to watching Marwa Bouzaini in the women's steeplechase coming up later. She had a great run for Tunisia, taking 11 seconds off her personal best to make that final. I love seeing that momentum build with nations as they keep doing well, inspired by their teammates.
Well, by my reckoning, at the moment, Donovan Brazier is still in a bubble position. He may yet make it. Heat 5, the athletes are being led out. And this yet another packed heat. Kramer, European Championship silver medalist for Sweden there. He's run the recent 1500, 3:38. He's in good shape as Kramer. Tekuceanu of Italy, former Romanian. Got his Italian nationality back in March. He's a 1:44 performer. Third in the Mediterranean Games recently in Mauritius. Tekuceanu. Noah Kibet goes in this one for Kenya, the 18-year-old. Second at the World Indoors in Belgrade back in March. I said it's a packed heat. Marco Arop goes in this one, the Pan Am Games champion from 2019. The Canadian champion. He's in very good form indeed. And coming up very shortly, the 400-metre hurdles semi-finals for the women. And there's a certain Dutch athlete, Femke Bol, who will surely qualify for the final. Hannah Barring disaster. But there's a couple of rather good Americans could be in her way if she wants to get a world title.
I don't like to do the curse of the commentary team. Femke Bol did look really good. So did Sydney McLaughlin, though. She's looked so smooth in every race she's done this season. She's not even done that many. You kind of think, where's the Olympic hangover? You did so phenomenally well last year. It should take you a bit of time to get your groove back. But Sydney McLaughlin just barely puts her foot wrong, even when people put the hurdles in the wrong place for her. She can still run ridiculously fast.
Dalila Muhammad, of course, the former world record holder, goes in the first of the 3 semi-finals. They are loaded. Only the first 2 will go through by right from each other. That's the warm-up track, by the way. Yes, as you can see, about 20 yards away from the main stadium. It is a quite remarkable facility. The athletes are just a long hop, step and jump away from this call room. Go out on the track. There you can see the Australian Sarah Carley, the athlete who goes in this first heat. There's Dalila Muhammad. She'll have lane 4. Lovely lane draw that for the athlete who is second fastest in history. McLaughlin, Muhammad and Bol. This is a special era for women's 400 metre hurdling. The fastest 3 in history go in these women's 400 hurdles semi-finals. So, the athletes out on the track for this 5th of 6 heats. And it's still very, very much up in the air as to who the non-automatic qualifier spots will go to. There are 6 of them. And at the moment, I think Donovan Brazier is either the 4th or 5th fastest of the non-automatic qualifiers, so he may yet make it through. Let's have a look at these athletes, though. Noah Kibet, the World Indoor silver medalist, goes in 8th for Kenya. Mark English, we just saw the ever-reliable Irishman in 7th. Yassine Hettat, 2nd in the Mediterranean Games for Algeria, is in 6th. There's Tekuceanu of Italy. He's a good athlete, sub 145 this year. Marco Arop, big, powerful Canadian. He's a huge fella. Very good racer. He's in good form too. 143 this year, Marco Arop. He's the 3rd fastest in the world. Andreas Kramer of Sweden, the 25-year-old. He's in good form too. A national record, he set in 2020, 144.4. Jesus Donatiu Lopez, 6 times Mexican champions in 2. And Jonah Koech of the USA goes in lane 1. Listen to that roar for him. He's a tiny fella. I say tiny by 800 standards. 5'9", 1m75. He's raced very sparingly as Koech. He comes into these championships left of pitch there in lane 1 for the USA. Very fresh. 2nd in the US championships in his personal best. The US Army. So he's semi-sponsored, I suppose you could say. Hasn't had to race on the commercial circuit. Heat 5 of the men's 800. Well, Marco Arop has gone off very slowly. He's almost fallen asleep there in the centre in lane 4. Certainly the athletes inside him have gone way past him. He's going to go into the back straight. significantly in last place. Maybe just wants that. Maybe just wants to watch the rest of the field start nice and slow and build up outside of Noah Kibet of Kenya. But he is an imposing figure, is Arop there. Left to picture now as they head round this second bend. It's Kramer at the front for Sweden, keeping it just nice and healthy. Mark English, 15 times the Irish champion, a regular medalist in the European Indoor Championship, silver back in 2015, bronze in 2019, the Irishman. He's in second place. On the inside is Koech as they come towards the bell. Arop nicely positioned on the outside, and it's not particularly quick.
It's not, but Marco Arop of Canada, it was a nice move. He kept himself out of trouble and he's just gliding around the outside here. Won the Birmingham Diamond League. That was super impressive. Perhaps scared by what he saw. His teammate Dylan McBride fell over in the previous heat. But Andreas Kramer, he's used to leading. He shows so much promise, the young Swedish athlete. But I'm scared because he's often vulnerable in the last 50 or 60 metres. Andreas Kramer trying to battle on the inside.
Well, Kramer getting really chopped and smashed around there. Wow! Several bodies coming past and clumping into him. Kramer might appeal on that. Arop at the front. Lopez in second place, having a great run, the Mexican. Former US footballer is Lopez. Comes into the straight now in second place. Mark English on the inside. Going well. A drive down the outside from Jonah Koech in his US colours. Kibet's going to be run out of it. The Kenyan left a picture. It's a real dust up for the first three places there. And Mark English just run out of it into fourth place in those green Irish colours. Arop takes it from Koech and Lopez. Great running from the Mexican champion this year. He takes third place. Was that Lopez has had a wonderful run. Arop, Koech and Lopez, 1, 2, 3. And Kramer, well, I'm not sure he had the legs anyway, but he was really clattered by 2 or 3 athletes coming past him with about 200 to run. Marco Arop just loping along in front, is big and powerful, and that's by far the quickest of the 5 heats so far. 1:44.56. That augurs well for Mark English. A season's best for the Irishman. 1:44.76. Well, that's only a 5 100ths outside of his lifetime best. Brilliant run from the Irishman. And I think I can say with some confidence he will go through as a non-automatic qualifier.
Good move from Mark English here. You can see Andreas Kramer just getting almost pushed and shoved from every side. He steps off the track there, but he could have grounds for an appeal that he was pushed off and he was impeded. But Andreas Kramer, at least he finished the race. He'll have to wait and see. But Marco Arop, that was really impressive. He stayed out of trouble. He let everybody else do the pushing and shoving and then just glided round the outside with around about 200, 220 to go. Mark English made his bid for this semi-final on that back straight. He couldn't hold on to an automatic spot, but that time was very good. But Koech, when you got teammates like Donovan Brazier and Bryce Hoppel, you'd expect them to be taking the automatic qualifying spots. But Jonah Koech, second at the USA Championships, coming through super well to get an automatic qualifying spot here.
I tell you what, that was a quick heat. Some great place times. Catalin Tecuciano in the colours of Italy, in that blue there, has run a lifetime best, 1:44.83. A tenth of a second off his lifetime best from last year. And Noah Kibet, well, that was one of the rare disappointments in Kenya's colours. He was 6th in 1:45.41. Going back down to the earlier heats, I think, didn't we see another Kenyan run out of it? We'll have a look, we'll have to check, but I'm not sure. It's been a great day at the races, over 2 laps for the Kenyans. There is one heat to come. Arop, Koech and Lopez at the moment, 1, 2, 3. I think some appeals might go in. I'd love to see that instant again, because I think a couple of athletes tried to squeeze through a gap and clumped into Kramer, a gap that wasn't really there, and he really got thumped pretty hard, put off his balance, and he finishes down in 7th place.
It's hard. It's always almost a number of moves at the same time that all kind of combined to trip up Kramer there. But I do think he might have grounds to finish, as with Dylan McBride as well, going all the way down, and perhaps Bryce Hoppel. He got really impeded in the same incident. But we've got one heat left in the men's 800 metres, and it features the Olympic bronze medalist, just on your screen there, Patrick Dobek. And as they leave one area, they're replaced by these female 400 metre hurdlers. Mohammed just showing her, probably putting an insult in her spike there. And I guess a lot of our athletes will have orthotics. help them with injuries and biomechanical issues. And that, to me, that was the look of an athlete, but making sure their insole was exactly right before they put their shoe on.
Van der Valk there of South Africa. She's got lane 3 inside Dalilah Mohammed. Not a bad lane draw that for the South African. She's a 54.99 athlete, but Sartori of Italy in lane 2 won't be delighted with that lane draw. And this is where the gloves have to come off, frankly, in the semi-finals, the women's 400-metre hurdles, because only the first 2 go through by right from each of the 3 semi-finals. 8 athletes in heats 1, 2 and 3 in each heat. That is tough.
Those 400-metre hurdles heats due off at 6:15 local time, in about 15 minutes. We've got this final heat of the men's 800 metres to get out of the way first. All of these heats have been highly entertaining. Let's hope this one's the same, but in a good way. More tripping and shoving and falling. Lane 8 will be Great Britain and Northern Ireland's Dan Rowden. He went with Max Bergen at the British Championships. He was the only man brave enough to do so, rewarded with a silver medal. I'm sure he'll be shocked by that withdrawal of Max Bergen as well. Müller goes in lane 7. Set a new PB, coming second in Ostrava, and then won the Stockholm Diamond League. His teammate Jamal Sajati won heat 4. Patrick Dobek, the Olympic bronze medalist, he's had a weird patchy season. 5th at Birmingham, then 13th at Ostrava, 1 Horsdale, 8th at Paris. Who knows what we're going to see from Patrick Dobek. Gisi will go in lane 5. Ethiopian Talisa Bodina, second in Ostrava. Lane 3 will be Wycliffe Kisese. He has the world leading time, or second in the world lead, now world leading with Max Bergen withdrawing. Slovenians Zan Rudolf will go in lane 2. National record holder, 45.15. Kisese, 143.54 at the Kenyan Championships, now has that tag of fastest man in the field.
Mara, just a quick word on the fastest losers places. Kramer at the moment is the 4th quickest of them. They belong to Mark English, Tekuchano and Kibet of Kenya from that 5th heat, and then Kramer from heat 5 as well. Benjamin Robert is okay at the moment, and Yassine Hettat is right on the bubble line, so to speak, the Algerian. So 1:46.05 is the target for the 4th placer in this final heat.
Patrick Dobek moved from 400-metre hurdles up to 800. Did it for the first time maybe at European Indoor Championships, and everyone went, if he can get his tactics right, he's going to be dangerous, and he did, picking up that bronze medal in Tokyo. But like I say, confusing mixed bag of results, and the bronze medalist happy to sit at the back at the moment. Bodina of Ethiopia moving his way around the inside, but it is Great Britain and Northern Ireland's Dan Rowden content to take up the early running. He will be very acutely aware of the time that it took to advance. He's one of those athletes and has a coaching team that would let him know that, and he'd attack this race with that non-automatic qualifying mark in mind. But Dan Rowden is having a great season. He should certainly be eyeing up the top 3 automatic qualifying spots, and this could be the fastest first lap we've seen in these 6 heats.
50.81 at 400 metres from Daniel Rowden. He's really taken it to them. This is going to be quick. Kramer, I think, will go through from the 5th heat, and that would be just because, remember, he took them through in 51.47, but 50.81 for Daniel Rowden. He is super talented, this British lad. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet. He's had his fair share of injury problems, but with 600 metres done, it's single file. They're all racing hard, and this is going to be quick.
Kisese closed up that gap on Dan Rowden, and he's pulled the rest of the field back to them. Bodina looks like that could have been an effort too far to get back on this group. Is he going to come under pressure from Patrick Dobek? Dan Rowden looking up at the screen. You can see the small queue behind you. That's indicating that non-automatic qualifiers could all come from this heat, but they don't know that. They're sprinting hard for the line. Patrick Dobek, the Olympic champion, has got to keep going. He's going to see that qualification line just glide past him, or we are. Sylvain Müller coming through for the win, making it 2 wins for Algeria in this opening round of the men's 800. They've come here meaning business. Sadiati taking one of the earlier heats, he looked good. El Ghoussi of Morocco, perhaps inspired by Soufiane El Bakkali in the men's steeplechase, And Kasese, he made a big, good move with around about 80 metres to go, but a lot of change in the closing stages.
Well, there was Moula, Kasese and El Gesse of Morocco are the 1, 2, 3. Dan Rowden 1:45.53 will go through okay with that. And let's just take a quick look at the round summary. And unofficially, it looks like Mark English and Teko Chiano are okay. So is Noah Kibet of Kenya. So is Dan Rowden. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then fifth is Kramer. He does go through, the Swede. He was so badly balked in that fifth heat. And Bodena of Ethiopia will go through as well. And that does mean Benjamin Robert doesn't make it through. That's a huge casualty. As is, of course, the non-qualification of Donovan Brazier. Adriana Ben of Spain doesn't make it through. That's a messy one. Wanyonyi of Kenya goes through as an automatic qualifier, of course. But, gosh, those are full of incident.
They really worked. Hats off to Dan Rowden. He made that race fast enough to give himself every shot. I think it takes a lot out of you leading a race. So Daniel Rowden, perhaps, that's why he's run out of energy here. But El Grisi of Morocco, sneaky move down the inside there, really held his nerve. Moula looked like he could have kept going for another 50 metres or so. He had the turn of pace to take him across the line. And the graphic, I think, was wrong. Had El Grisi in second place, and I think actually he was third. Kasese of Kenya finding a little bit extra in the last 5 or 10 metres.
Absolutely right. Well, you know what? Smart running from Daniel Rowden. He's got what he deserved from that. He took it out really hard. 50.8 at 400 metres. He came home in fourth place, but he goes through comfortably as a non-automatic qualifier. Mark English, just to reiterate, does go through as well with Teko Chiano of Italy. And the others, Noah Kibet of Kenya. He was, fifth in his heat. Sixth in his heat, rather, excuse me. Daniel Rowden goes through. Kramer and Bodena, who was fifth in that final heat just then, 1:45.81. But some big name casualties not making it through.
Confirmation of that sixth heat. Slimane Moula of Algeria. Timing you've kicked to perfection. Wycliffe Kasese of Kenya safely navigating the rounds. El Grisi of Morocco with a season's best. Good season's best for Dan Rowden as well. Patrick Dobek, the Olympic bronze medalist, just run out of it. I said such a mixed bag of results for the Polish athlete. The Poles not having fun in this men's 800. Lost the likes of Adam Kashot to retirement this year. Marcin Lewandowski, big shoes to fill.
So do you know what? We lost the world champion in that race. We lost the Olympic